Commissioners. My name is Rami Ali. I'm from Ground Design, the project architect for 1262 Holbrook, Pedestal East, and with me is zoning counselor, Mrs. Garcia. If you have any zoning questions, she'll step in to answer anything. We are applying for a special exemption to the BZA for converting a single-family road dwelling unit structure to a 3-unit apartment house by proposing a rear addition in the back and also going up to a 3rd floor addition that sets back from 10 feet from the front facade so that it doesn't interfere with the existing roof lines of the existing structure. I can start with the cover page that you have in that package in front of you. This gives a clear presentation of how the building would look like after development. What you see in color on the cover page is the existing portion of the building right now, as it is as single family. We're not proposing to change any of the existing roof lines, any of the dormers, any of the window types. We're going to maintain everything as is, but replace in kind. The only thing we're doing for the existing portion of it is also replacing the exterior finish from vinyl siding to brick. And that's what you see in color on that very front cover page. Also on the cover page, you see the 3rd floor addition. The 3rd floor addition that is shaded in gray, and that is sets back 10 feet from the front facade. We were also the architects on the 3 lots right next to 1262 Holbrook. So we had the advantage of meeting with the community and the neighbors a lot of times in the past. So we went back to our records and books, and we have all of the concerns that this community had on the adjacent property, and we applied it to the new design. And that's what we proposed to our client, saying this is a project that would kind of be accepted to the community because we heard them before and we shared their concerns with the previous owner. So that's what basically drove that design. If we start going to the second page, which is A1.0, you see a graphic of the site plan. The site plan is basically what you see in gray are the 2 adjoining neighbors, the 2 adjoining blocks. 1264 Holbrook Terrace, that is a 3-unit apartment building, and to the north, there's a 6-unit apartment building existing as of today. That actually goes up to around 35 feet in height. So looking at the front facade again, the adjoining 6-unit apartment buildings will remain at least 7 to 8 feet above our proposed building height again from the front. The site plan also presents the rear addition. It shows that we're going almost 25 feet in the back. The reason we're going up to 25 feet because we wanted to align it with the back wall of the adjoining neighbors. And that's where you see those 2 dimensions in the back. It says it's 3'9" and 9.5 inches, and that's how much that rear addition projects out beyond the neighboring property line. The reason we have those dimensions is because the rear alley is not a straight line, so that's why we have that difference in dimension. Going to A2.0 to A5.0 basically represents the floor plans. I don't want to go inside the details, we only have 3 minutes, but basically all of the units have the same concept of open living, dining, kitchen space with the 3 bedrooms in the back. Unit 1 is the only unit that would sit on 2 levels. Given the site is have a very steep slope towards the backyard, we're taking advantage of that cellar basement space where the grade slopes end, and that's where we're putting a 4th bedroom and a home office for unit number 1. The lot is around 2,700 square feet, so we have a lot of square footage on that lot, which helped us provide 3 parking spaces. When we're only required to provide 1 parking space for the zoning regulations, but we are providing 3 spaces, which is a ratio of 1 to 1 of the proposed structure. The rooftop, the air conditioning condensers, they are placed also in the backyard. Trash, recycling bins, all are located on the backyard, shown on the site plan at sheet A4.0. The numbers that you see along the site on A4.0 is simply a key number for additional definition of that. You'll see like on the upper left corner, you see a keynote that explains all of that. Condensers, trash, mechanical roll-up doors, and so forth. Going forward to A5.0, it is more details on the front facade, how it looks, and the rear facade. We're basically using 2 types of materials, the red brick and the vinyl side, so hardy plank siding on the top, on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor. You also go to A6.0, you will see a side elevation. the existing property does have an existing side yard to it. We're maintaining that side yard, and we're not building all the way up to the property line. So that's why you see A6.0, which will also have windows overlooking that side yard. That grows from 5 feet up to 12 feet, simply because that property line goes onto an angle. The adjoining neighbor on 1260 also have the same exact condition. We also have side yards that ranges the widest range around 15 feet. So this leaves almost 15 plus another almost 25 feet between the two buildings, between 1260 and 1262 Holbrook. And that's what allows us to provide windows overlooking those yards. Same thing applies for the existing condition on 1260. They also have windows overlooking that side yard. The last exhibit is the building section. This gives a clear, this actually helps see the grading, how the grade happens from the front to the back, and explains how we are taking advantage of the lower level by providing this additional space for unit number 1. The dashed line that you see on top is basically the existing roof line of the existing single-family dwelling, and everything installed is basically the rear addition and the third floor addition. This basically sums up the architectural part of the project. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Did you go first or can I make my comment? It's a comment. Okay, the fact that you said you did not re-engage the community. He said he used the old information.
Well, maybe I should speak first. So,
I asked you.
So, I had residents come out on Saturday. Some of the residents from the community came. There were some that couldn't make it. I see that there are some neighbors who were here today, and they are definitely welcome to share their concerns or ask questions. But I wanted to just kind of highlight exactly what some of the concerns were when the presentation was made to the residents. One of the concerns centered around potential parking burden given the density of the proposed project. They are proposing 3 parking spots, but I think that there's been a lot of development along Holbrook Terrace, so a lot of the residents are concerned about the fact that these are multiple units, like it's multiple bedrooms in each of the units, and there could be potentially more than one car that would be needing a parking spot. So that was one of the concerns. Another concern was a potential adverse effect or use on the adjacent or abutting dwelling based on light and air, and also privacy because of the windows that are going to be presented there, because the existing 6-unit apartment building has bundles on the side that's going to be facing them. So there were concerns expressed about that. Then another concern was the effects of sewage, like since it's going to be multiple bathrooms in the building, what could be done, and you all provided an answer for that. So I don't remember that answer, but you can address it.
First, to respond to the parking, first comment is we already have 3 parking spaces. Given the big yard that we have, we can easily expand that to 6 parking spaces by providing tandem. But the reason we did not provide the solution on the current package, because the developer and the owner have discussed with Commissioner Shropshire that they also are the owners and developers for the adjoining property that have 8 units right now, and they are willing to provide an additional 4 parking spaces from that particular project to be deeded to 1262 Holbrook. So this responds to the parking comment. Comment number 2 was regarding the water and sewer. Every single project in DC, every time you're trying to add units, the plumbing fixtures, of course, is going to go up. And there's a special permit that we have to apply through WASA to increase the size of the pipes for the water and sewer. So this is normal standard procedure that we have to go through regardless by upsizing the water and sewer lines. And the third comment was regarding the windows on 1260 Holbrook. We heard that concern, and we informed the client immediately, and he reached out to the owner of 1260, and he provided us a letter signed by the owner of 1260 saying he's in support of our project, and I believe you were copied on that email with the signature of that adjoining door. So these were the 3 comments, and that's my response.
Okay, the information you shared actually caused a different question triggered in my mind, because here's an 8-unit building and another 3-unit building, and I'm assuming they're under under different applications, that's 10 units, so where's the affordable component since it's?
We're not, the 8 unit is not our project.
I thought you just said it was to one component.
This is the, yeah.
So it's not the same developer?
No,
So how is he deeding the 4 parking
No,
spaces?
the other developer is actually further, it's 1258.
So who's deeding the parking space? Like
1258.
1258 is going to be parking.
1260 if we need to, if it's a must to provide additional parking. We believe we have sufficient parking for the project, but if it becomes a condition, the client is willing to deed more parking spaces from the 1258 Walbert Terrace to 1262, and I think he sent that.
That was submitted with the application?
Or was it?
It
It
should-
submitted in the application.
It should be, because it'll be hard to hold them to that since it's 2 different owners.
Yeah, and that's what the owner says. If it becomes a condition, he's willing to add that to the application as a condition that he's willing to deed some parking spaces in 1262.
Question with regards to the setback. At what point was it determined, and I know this is certainly within the lawful rights to build a setback or pop up within the footage that's allowed. But at what point was it determined that there would be a setback on this project? Because I believe it's inconsistent with prior information that we received on this.
I'm sorry, you're saying what determined the setback?
Yeah, at what point was it determined that a setback would be created on this project?
It's not required. I just set it back so that, because I heard the concerns from the previous application from the neighbors, that they don't want any new developments to increase the height of the existing structure or make it look of a different scale. So that's why I pushed it further back so that it does not interfere.
When was that determined? Because again, I think that is a bit inconsistent with the prior information.
What's the prior information?
I thought it was determined that it wouldn't be a setback on this.
We're not required to provide the setback. We're just doing
Oh, I
it.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Then I may be confused. But the setback is within the appropriate footage and all that, I presume.
Again, we're not required to provide it, so it's not,
I understand.
yeah. So we're just, for scale and purpose only, it's a design, decision that we set it back to the front, so.
But there will be a setback on this particular.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
I think the addition of the setback is actually good news. I like the fact that you're using brick. I'm concerned about hardy plank. Hardy plank is a less expensive material. It is aesthetically unattractive and it doesn't provide, the richness that a brick building provides. And I would ask you to revisit that. I've shared my concerns before about receiving amended plans the day of presentation. It's much more helpful to the commission to be able to receive these plans prior to your presentation so that we may evaluate them and formulate additional questions. I've done a shadow study and I understand there were only a couple of people that attended the meeting, so what is the general consensus in the community?
The shadow study, we usually provide the shadow study when our addition projects beyond, any of the neighboring back
So
wall.
you didn't do a shadow study?
Well, I mean, we had, enough support from the adjoining neighbor and, from both neighbors, which,
In writing?
In writing.
Okay.
And we're not projecting beyond their back wall, so that's why we thought that the shared study is redundant at this point.